The professional triers and the Holiday Lighting Think Tank have teamed up with Cool Tees to provide you, our VIP listeners, with some cool, awesome, and one-of-a-kind professional triers gear, including t-shirts, brew mugs, can coolies, coffee mugs, and of course, the one and only Think Tank flannel shirt made famous by none other than our own JR. So go to hlttgear.com, that's hlttgear.com, and get your professional triers gear today.
Ho, ho, ho. It's old Santa Claus. Yeah, it's in the middle of the summer. So that's why Daddy's having a little fireball. Nothing wrong with it. That's right, Santa Claus is a little drunk. So what? So what? Broadcasting from Boscoyo Podcast Studios in California and Nebraska. Try to say that when you're hammered out of your mind. The same dudes that brought you the Holiday Lighting Think Tank. You're listening to the Professional Triers. Vinny's sitting on Santa Claus's lap. Good boy, Vinny. Here's Vinny and JR.
Welcome to another episode of the Professional Triers. We're still here at Monster headquarters, so thanks to them because this is freaking awesome. Free Monster all day long. I got another one to try. I'm just gonna go through the whole fridge. Everything on this table, I'm gonna try today.
I'm having the Loca Mocha. The coffee plus energy. I gotta be honest, I didn't know what to expect, and I'm really enjoying it.
This was not a good choice. This one's gonna go over here. That was not gonna move on. I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't want to say it's bad to everybody else. But
pick that one.
Yeah, we're gonna go for a different one here. Let's go this one. It's juice.
Kind of has a piratey ship feel.
It does.
With
It's Pacific Punch. This is probably gonna be good. Kind of cool, lady. Not bad. Let's go. All right, so we have a really good episode today. We have the casting producer, right? That's the right term for this? Casting director for the Great Christmas Light Fight, Kristen Moss. And I always have my bald-headed gentleman here, Vinny.
Hi, guys!
So let's get into this a little bit. So welcome to our show.
Hey. Hi, Kristen. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
It's awesome that you could do this and you would actually take the time to hang out with us two idiots.
I mean, it's the SoCal Mini. How could I not be? I live in SoCal. How could I not come?
Well, you know, I mean,
but we don't.
In the future, you could just travel to Nebraska and then we do this from there.
That's true.
I mean,
I've never been.
There's a vacation destination.
So why would the two people from California go to Nebraska? Why didn't Nebraska come back to California?
Because why does anyone ever want to come to California? Did I say that right?
Why does anyone ever want to come to Nebraska?
Did I say that correctly? Is it California? Like, I don't even think people have heard of it.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe in Nebraska.
I'm just jealous, okay? God damn it. I'm just jealous. All right?
I took you to the beach yesterday.
I did go to the beach.
Which one?
Ocean Beach.
Oh,
You
yeah.
didn't take me, though. You took Brian.
Well, yes, technically I took Brian.
I got to go
You got
because
to
Brian
go with
went.
Brian. Yes. Because Brian, what was it, like 8? 8 oceans you've put your feet in?
I am so glad that we
Seven?
went there, though,
Seven
because now
oceans?
he'll shut up about it.
Maybe. I don't know. He didn't go to swim because his foot's all...
We get here, and he's like, hey, can we go to the beach? Hey, Dad.
It couldn't be the bay either. It had to be the ocean beach.
Okay, Kristen,
right.
Thank you very much for coming again. We're going to go back to being professionals now.
Triers.
We tried to be professional. Okay. JR, you want to start us off?
No, you can.
Ooh, I'll start us off. Okay, so I I feel like we got to get these questions out in the beginning because there's going to be so many people that listen to these episodes and they watch the Great Christmas Light Fight and they are not the people that have been on it, though, right? Statistically speaking, most of our viewers haven't been on the show. So
Right.
for the ones that haven't been on and are maybe interested in being on the show, what advice do you have for them as like, you know what, if you do this and this, that really helps you because those are the things that we like.
I mean, obviously, I can go down a long list of things that I've seen and things that have worked, and you can go back through episodes and you can kind of take a look and see what it is. But we don't want any copycats. We don't want someone who's going to be doing the same thing as somebody else. So first and foremost, we want your brain and your creativity to come forth on your display. So first and foremost, I don't want to give any specific direction to anyone because I'm not the artist. You guys are. You're doing this to make, the best use of the space you have. So that's first and foremost.
So
I can't give it.
unique.
Be you. Yeah. And everyone's unique in their own right? Be you, be unique. Things that we've kind of started seeing lately that are really fun and that the network and, even us on the casting team have been gravitating towards are themes, only because it kind of gives the audience something to grasp onto. The year that we had the gingerbread house on the show, this house was small. It was Peter Tomasello.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The house was, it's not the largest home. They have gumdrops and they have all these things. And the amount of people who just watched the show and had on their Twitter, we love the gingerbread house. That's the kind of stuff that's really fun for the audience. So we gravitate towards that in casting because that's our
and
goal.
those two are so unique. They are. Peter and they're awesome.
Yeah, no, and that house was cool. I like their ice skating rink though. That was pretty cool.
Right, the ice skating rink. We'd never seen that before.
Yeah,
so
that was-
They're both super into hockey. So
Yeah.
that was like a natural
yeah, I
fit
think he's
of
a
their
goalie.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
their personality into the show, into their display.
Yeah, that was so cool.
100%. So it's like, if you like NASCAR, maybe make a NASCAR house. I mean, take the things
Have you seen
love.
that?
Take notes. They're looking for a NASCAR house right now.
I might have given that advice to someone. I don't know if they're going to take it, but sometimes I like to kind of draw people
Yeah.
in one way or the other because it hurts my heart so much when maybe they've auditioned maybe one or two times and they still haven't quite gotten there. And it's not easy to make that phone call like, sorry, I don't know what it was, but again, this year it's not it.
Yeah.
I try to steer them in the direction based on who they are, but I can't give a blanket response to everyone who's listening. You just have to kind of feel it in yourself.
Yeah.
But lights are really important. So do that and then just put a lot of lights everywhere.
Yeah.
And the reason being is more light than darkness shows up really well on like 4K cameras.
So more light makes it look better
More lights.
for TV.
Yeah. And just gives you that wow factor.
Yeah.
So
No black area.
as tight as you can string them, as unique as you can make your display look, lights and themes go a long way.
Very cool. I think that's a great advice. You can't really tell people what to do because then I think if everybody did the same thing, the show would not be fun to watch.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, look, it's the same house but in a different shape. Yay.
right.
So I think having new, unique stuff, and I think for you guys, the stuff that's coming out lately in our hobby is going to be, you guys are going to probably love it. Like it's so different. It's going to be crazy.
I love it. I mean, we try to stay on the forefront, and that's why coming down and talking to you guys is so important. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people who have no idea that they're in the Christmas community and they decorate their homes and they don't even realize that there's meetup groups and Facebook groups and everything. And sometimes those little ones with the little grandma, grandpa who've been doing it forever and ever, they end up on the show too. So it's, we want that new high tech. We want that old,
Traditional type of Christmas.
They literally have never left their town in many, many years. And they might not even know the show exists.
And
You run into a lot of that.
And you're dead on. And we found that with this podcast. I've had people that have found our podcast, organically, not finding it through like one of our traditional groups or the people that know us really strongly. They found it organically through one of their podcast apps, and they have a family member or a friend that they say, "Oh, dude, you're like really into Christmas lights. Have you seen this Christmas light podcast?" And they'll listen to it and say, "Oh my God, I had no idea that such things like the think tank existed and whatnot." And it's great that for everyone that's out there that's in the group, there are two that are out there that aren't in groups, that don't know the groups exist.
Oh yeah. But the fact that your group does exist is so important because it's bringing together a community of like-minded people. When I'm casting this show, I've cried during interviews before because the amount of passion and feeling and love that goes into creating these displays is inexplicable. So we love all of you, and I swear I call my mom every year because she lives in New Jersey, and I say, why don't we live together? All these families can get together on in a week's notice, and they can all be together, and they all decorate for Christmas together, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. I chose to move out to California, which you've never heard of, but
I hear they have nice weather.
Yeah. So talking about the ones you've seen and stuff, what do you think is the best displays, like the best elements, and what kind of displays that you like the best? Personally, not TV show wise, but like which ones have you been wowed by?
Yeah, some of my favorites are the ones where you look at them and they don't even look like a home. They've actually completely changed the facade of the house. They have built something that exists in front of the home and turned it into a castle, turned it into a ship, turned it into any, obviously, number of things you can dream up, and that's what you turn your home into. But those are the ones that I just have a special place in my heart, not to mention the DIY aspects for light shows and for static displays.
Yeah.
They're in their garage with probably with blow torches, making
Plasma cutters, welders.
All those things that we don't have nearly any space to have something like that in my house in California. They have farmland or whatever, and they're working all year making Christmas happen for that year. So it's the DIY aspects. It's the just pure imagination stuff.
Now, multi-part question here. How many seasons has the Great Christmas Light Fight been going on?
We just wrapped casting for season 8, which means that you can no longer audition for season 8.
And so
we're going to be filming
the one we're about to watch this upcoming winter is season 7.
Yes.
Correct.
Exactly.
Okay. So in those times, in those 7 years, 8 years, I'm going to say 7 years because those are the ones you've recorded, those are the ones you've seen. What has been the biggest differences that you've seen from 7 years ago to now? What has changed? What has really developed? I mean, what do you notice as the big difference over the years?
So I don't know if you guys are aware that in the first, I think it was 4 seasons, the bosses and everybody agreed that they wanted 2 light shows and 2 static displays per episode. So we had a good number of light shows coming out. But the light shows have grown so much. But the only thing that I would say has changed is that now we film at Christmas time, and now we don't put a time constraint on the decorating. But I don't know, even then, even in seasons 1 and 2, they did the display as big as they could. And so I don't know if much has changed. I mean, I know it's what we have kind of ready to gear up for this year, and they're just as magical and magnificent as the ones we had season 1. Even my executive producer the other day was like, man, I thought we were going to start running out of displays to put on the show, which could happen. So if anybody's thinking about it, please apply. We don't want the show to go away. But ultimately, I don't know. The visions still come to life, and we still are able to make complete seasons. I don't know if have you guys noticed anything? Like, do you as viewers, do you guys think there's been changes or like anything?
Well, I don't know if this is actually true, but I think the first few seasons, you guys had more of like light shows together and static shows together, which, to be honest, I thought was more fair in a sense, because it's really hard to have a static display up against a light show.
Right.
You know, which I don't know if that was true, but I think I noticed that more in the first ones where it seemed to be displays alike were more situated together.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we did do the 2 light shows and 2 static displays.
Yeah.
So there were always 2 light shows in every episode. So maybe that's kind of what.
Yeah,
you're
maybe
saying,
that's
now. We went through so many light shows, and there are only so many out there that are that tight.
Yeah.
Just big glob of
Dense
lights. That like
pixel.
have some.
Yeah.
That are beautiful and that are programmed and stuff like that, that I feel like the light shows are far less, like they don't occur as often anymore because we just don't have as many to bring forth.
And the first thing that jumps out to me is what has changed is that what you see on the show has been more and more extravagant. That is not the lights. And I hear this a lot from people a lot. When you started, it was so much good content with great displays of lights. And now you see people that like, okay, I really got to go above and beyond. And that's a natural progression on any type of TV show, radio program, podcast, anything. You try to get more and more drama into it. However, the development has been now people that have bands, playing with their light show. They have a band going on, or they have dancers and singers.
In James' defense, he always has a band at least once
Right.
a year at his
Yeah,
display.
we don't-
I use
don't
that as an
manufacture that.
example,
Yeah.
and that's true because James does.
Yeah.
But dancers and singers and all those type of things that you see going
Or the
on.
parades coming for the reveal and like this big thing.
And none of that occurred
But
when
you don't
we
know
saw
if
the show.
But you don't know
early
if
on.
somebody actually has that happen one night a year.
No, I don't know that.
So like, because we wouldn't have known if we didn't personally know James that the band comes out one night a year at least.
Did I
And he
ever tell
does
you
a
how
big
much I
cook
like
off
James?
and
I like him a whole
love
bunch.
James.
I love that
He's
he's
a
a.
good
I
guy.
love that he's.
Are
a
you
paid
just
sponsor.
saying that because he sponsors our
He's my
podcast?
favorite sponsor.
I remember meeting
Robert's
James.
gonna be so mad
Other
at you.
than my other favorite sponsor, I really like him too. They're both my favorites' favorite.
Yeah. They're your favorite 100% of the time?
Yes,
80% of the time?
80%.
Okay, back
But-
on track.
Well, and the funny thing is so to your acknowledgement, I guess, of obviously as we have so many reveals and so
Yeah.
many homes, you can only hit the button so many times to turn the lights on. You can only pump down a dynamite stick so many times. So now in actually the casting process, sometimes we say, what would you guys envision for your big reveal, to turn the lights on? And we can kind of help you figure that out, or we can help you create something if you guys come up with it. Again, it's like we want to give as much creative control to you, and then we help facilitate that. But if someone says, oh, every year we have a parade, our neighborhood does a parade, we're like, great, why don't we do the big reveal the night that the parade happens? And we work with what is given. We don't say, hey, why don't you get all your neighbors to light up their cars and drive them down the street? Like that could, but if they're already doing it, we work with what's already being done. And again, when you think of promoting the show and having those moments and making people want to tune in, it's like, wait, is that a parade in front of someone's house?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to make you want to tune in and see what's going on, kind of thing. So.
Yeah, no, I totally understand like the need for that kind of stuff to help draw interest into the show. Because I know you got like commercials and you got to draw people to come watch it. That's the only way you can continue being on, which
Absolutely.
Yeah.
From a television standpoint, it's a natural progression.
That's why, we made the decision to move into heavyweights because, we're not expecting people to start spending $50,000, $100,000.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want people to dip into their life savings, for us. If you're already putting lights on your home and that's something you love, that's amazing. But we don't want you to start, throwing everything you have into a display just for the sake of the show. We want to capture what you have. And obviously we decide, through all of these steps and channels who ends up making the show. But to get that bigger and better, feel, we moved into the heavyweights episodes the past couple of seasons, which have given us that like wow factor beyond what the homes have given us too. So
no, I like the heavyweight thing. It's cool because us smaller display like house guys, we could easily adapt ideas from commercial displays, and we don't necessarily see that all the time. But we could see this giant commercial thing that got made and be like, I can make a smaller version of that, and that would be perfect at my house.
It's those big ornaments are so cute, and yeah.
Perfect to get ideas off of. So.
Yeah, so I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good one. So our community kind of has a concern with the show where
I love these ones.
They kind of feel like the show prefers traditional light shows over pixels.
And by our community, we
light
mean
shows.
Very pixel heavy.
Yeah, a very pixel heavy community. They feel like if they try to be on the show and they're up against a traditional light show with LEDs or incandescents or whatever, that they're going to lose to the traditional light show automatically. Like they don't think pixel shows have a chance.
Well, so first I would say just getting on the show is not easy. So getting on the show and being able to show your artwork to the world, I mean, the world watches the show, is, I would assume, a win. So just being able to be on the show and showcase all of that. I mean, look at David Peace. He's the happiest guy. He didn't win last year, but you know what? It didn't, I mean, maybe it does matter at home, but to everybody else, it seems like he and his family had the best time on the show. And so I feel like that's, and especially in casting, that's, I just want to get people on the show. At that point, whatever happens. And I would assume that just by being on the show is a win. However, when you look at, when the judge comes to view your display, two things happen. The first thing is they're judging on the experience they have in person.
Yeah.
So when the viewing audience watches back the edited, flashy, cut version of the display, that's not what the judge saw.
Yeah.
Could be better, could be worse, doesn't matter, but that's essentially what the judge is judging on, is what they're seeing in person. On top of that, they spend however many hours walking through and talking about the different aspects of the show. And if there's a home that's outlined in pixels that has one screen, like
a matrix or
whatever, and some candy canes, what else do you talk about?
True.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, where's the, and believe me, we do as much as we can to make sure that we're capturing how much work and time and programming and effort, and you're on the train programming your display on the way to work, and you've missed your family vacation because you stayed home to program. Like, believe me, when I'm in those pitch meetings at ABC, that's what I'm telling them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the walkthrough, what are the moments that are going to make that judge say, whoa, like this is over the top creative?
So is pixel displays getting too cookie cutter?
That's not for me to say.
Is that, I think that might be the hard thing.
Because we hear that all the time, that every single pixel display is starting to look the same. And I will argue that point till I'm blue in the face. But do you feel that way too?
No, I don't feel that way. But I feel like if I have three that look pretty similar, I'm only going to pitch one. And then I'm going to pitch another one that has, maybe they took wrought iron steel and they put the pixels all over that, and there's all these crazy shapes, and there's all these crazy colors, and there's all these, I need to pitch something that's gonna bring them something different.
Yeah.
Because I'm pitching to someone who isn't looking at Christmas videos all summer long. I'm pitching to someone who has an hour and a half of their time to determine if they would like to see it on their network. And if they see 3 that are a 2-story colonial and the columns are covered and the roof line's covered and there's a pixel over or a matrix over each window and some arches over the driveway, it's gorgeous and the programming is stunning. And I know what the work was, but I can probably only pitch maybe 1 or 2 of those per season, and maybe one will get on.
So is there a chance that you guys will ever do categories like pixels against pixels and traditional against traditional, or is that?
No, because the way that the episodes are lined out, it's not that, without saying too much, the episodes are lined out. There's maybe like 50 different things that they have to determine. And none of them are what's fair. All of them are like, what part of the country are they in? Is it a full family or is it just a guy and his girlfriend? Gatherings. There are, I'm talking like 50 different determining factors about who should be in an episode against each other. And really none of them have to do with what the display looks like.
Okay.
I mean, besides we don't want all light shows. We want
a mix of everything.
Yeah.
So the episode's not just like the light show episode or something.
Right. Like let's say there's 500 major extreme displays in the country. There's however many billion people that don't know that how the displays are put together, and they're just watching for entertainment value. So it's fun, and it's the way the episodes are laid out.
It just whatever works best for the production of the show is how they get grouped together.
Right, in so many factors.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a part of that. And believe me, and just for the record, I have asked because I know, I really do know. Because I know that it feels like it's unfair, and I know that it feels like it's, there's all this work and effort put into it. But in my opinion, would you still do it if there wasn't a show? Probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
absolutely.
like the fact that there is a show is just a fun bonus. I would hope. I would really hope.
No, yeah. That is.
Now, you said earlier that you before JR's question, that you like those hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, I don't mind
You're
them.
excited for those? Okay, then I'm going to...
Did you come up with one?
I came up with one that I'm going to ask you that I know...
may or may not be able to answer.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Keith, we're going to make note of this, and master producer Keith might edit this out, so you may never hear this. If you hear this, then we have great news for you. So I hear this all the time from people. It's the biggest complaint about the show that I hear.
Okay.
And that is, you probably already know this question, that the show wants those drama stories, those, something sad, something, terrible, and that motivated me to do these light shows. And so people say, I'm not going to ever try to, even though they have great displays, they have these amazing displays. And like, dude, go get on the Great Christmas Light Fight, apply. Well, no, I don't have a SAP story, so I don't want to be on the show. How would you address that concern?
I hear it all the time. And actually, I just talked about it in the other room, with everyone. I would say that I don't think anybody wants to have taken on the legacy of their father who passed away. I don't think anybody wants to say my neighbor or someone has a disease and that's why we put this show on. It's just why people do it. So we're not looking for that at all. First and foremost, we're looking for great Christmas light displays. But when you enter into someone's home through Skype, those stories come out. And I would beg to say that someone would prefer to have their grandfather over being on the show. But if their grandfather has passed away, and that's part of the reason that they continue putting their display up and they make it bigger and better to let them see it from heaven, that's a story we're going to tell because they told us. believe me, I'm not asking 75 times like, no, but what is it? What's going to make you cry? Like, I don't want to see people cry. And like I said, I've cried in these interviews because there are those really hard-hitting stories. God, there was a year, it was the first year I worked on the show, and I'm not going to say the name of the family, but the casting producer who interviewed the whole family, and we loved them, and they were so much fun, and, you know, we were, like, getting excited about them, pitched them, and the daughter passed away. And they continued doing the display, and they went on that season for her. And it's like, nobody wants to tell that story. That's not a story that people are are wanting. Yeah. It's their story. So believe me, and it's one of the things, and they talked about it on the show, so it's not like a hidden thing. But they were in the Skype interview. She was in the Skype interview. So it's a matter of understanding that, and not only have we been talking to these families for so many years, and, you know, next thing you know, we're like, oh man, the next year, like, oh, you guys aren't doing your display anymore because Joe was the only one who knew how to plug it in. Like, wow. Or, oh, you guys have a new baby this year? Amazing. Now the baby gets to be a part of it. So we see the sad stories and we see the beautiful moments. We see engaged couples who the following year are now married, or maybe they're boyfriend and girlfriend and they want to get engaged on the show. I mean, we get to share those moments with these families, especially the ones that we work with year after year, and their display changes year after year. But believe me, you don't want a sob story. Yeah. It's part of life.
That's an excellent way to answer that question.
Yeah, that's definitely a good answer. I hope that helps some of the people that have been, like, I don't know, not really talking crap, but like thinking that's why they'll never be on the show.
Yeah, it's a concern we hear all the time. And people that say, oh, I don't want to be on the show because I don't have a sob story, that's all they care about. Well, there's proof right there. That's not what they care about.
No.
We want fun, like, families who love putting up Christmas lights, and we just want to tell your story. And I think the show does a really good job in telling the stories. Sometimes they're more lighthearted than other times, but that's not a determining factor at all.
No, that totally makes sense. So, do you ever fear you're going to run out of displays?
Every single day. I mean, every year that I start working on the show, you could even ask AJ, who was supposed to be here, but she's in Australia. Hi, AJ, if you're listening.
That orange mic over there was supposed to be for her.
Oh.
So, just so you know, AJ, you have a mic here.
AJ, you have a mic. You're actually sitting right next
empty.
to me.
Yeah.
Well, my
this
bag's
is our
on
sob story right now. See that empty chair over there? That was supposed to be AJ's.
Oh, and she has such a great voice, too. She's a character. So much fun. So many of the families have met her, and she's just so much fun. And what was I getting at?
The concern over running out of shows.
The concern out of running out of shows. In the beginning of this season, I was like, I don't know if we're going to get there. I don't know if we're going to have enough, like, unique ones, fun ones to pitch. Like, she's like, yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. I can tell you there are some families we call 5, 6, 7 times. And I think they're just sick of hearing her voice sometimes, but they won't pick up the phone. Maybe they don't want to do it. And, you know, she's always able to kind of give them that, or like understand what their concerns are and work through them.
Yeah.
There's families who have amazing displays who simply don't ever want to do the show. And we get that, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't really get it, because if you're in the Christmas community and you want to see the show continue, then, you know, you can have fun with it and, you know, spend 3 days with us.
Yeah, I know with me, I think I went 4 or 5 years with telling you guys no.
Oh, yeah, I know. But you had a valid reason.
Yeah, and then once you guys changed the recording time,
yeah,
and it made sense, and we applied. So
exactly. Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, you can't put lights over apricots.
Yeah.
But no, and changing that time frame opened the door for us, and we felt the floodgates were open, and now we're back to the point where it's like, okay, I hope, like, but we always find a way, and we always find new ones.
Well, there's so many new people getting, at least in our Pixel side, the growth is crazy. The amount of people here today at this mini that it's their first year is amazing.
Wow.
Like it keeps growing and growing all the time.
I love it. I love it. And I mean, there are some who never take video footage. So if they're somewhere in Utah and they've never taken footage of their display and it's not out on Vimeo and it's not out on YouTube, we're not going to find them unless there's like a news article. But then at that point, I see the news article, give them a call in our crazy ways that we'll find you. If you have a big display, we will find you. That just know that. Pick up the phone, please. Tell us no. We won't call you a million times. We'll probably call you again at Christmas. But anyway. But if there's a news article and then we call them and then they don't even have footage, so we can't pitch them. First and foremost, if you do want to be on the show, please get footage of your display and not wobbly footage where you're walking through. Get nice, clean footage. You don't have to buy anything fancy. A cell phone is fine. I know you do. You can if you want. If you have a friend who flies a drone.
Well, if you're in California,
that.
I hear David Peace will drive to you.
Really?
Well, he has.
He
drove all the way to Northern California to film somebody's display.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
He did it for a really cool guy too. So hopefully that works out this year.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. And it wasn't me. I'm not trying to say it was me. It wasn't.
It was probably super producer Keith.
No, it was Ben.
Ben. Oh, yes.
I know Ben's been trying for a number of years, and he hasn't been able to have good footage, and David drove up there and filmed it with his drone. So hopefully that works out. I really hope so, because Ben is the nicest guy in the world. But I think it's time to get to some fun.
He is a sweetheart.
Are we going to get some fun?
I had fun during this. But,
well, yes. No, this was a good interview. I really like it.
Uber fun.
It's time for the good fun.
And now a word from our sponsors. The Pixel Pro Display Sequence Club is the only club that pays for itself. Here are just some of the benefits of becoming a member. Each month, you will receive a free, original sequence programmed by the pros at PPD to take your display to the next level. Access to weekly X-Lights effects presets, which you can use in your own sequences or modify to create your own unique effects library. Access to the PPD affiliate discount program, getting up to 15% off or more from over a dozen of our PPD partners. So visit us on the web today at pixelprodisplays.com and also find us on Facebook at Pixel Pro University. Pixel Pro Displays. What can Pixel Pro Displays do for you?
JR's got a dirty mind. Vinny is just an idiot. But somehow, this is still journalism? Let's now do some rapid-fire questions.
All right, it's time for the best part of the show, the rapid-fire questions, and I have to start with my go-to first question. What color is your toothbrush?
It's purple and white. It's a Sonicare.
Oh, we even got the brand. That's fancy.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I don't like hot dogs, but I guess so.
Ooh. Yeah, another one on your team. So you said you liked the beach earlier. So do you think sand is called sand because it's between the sea and the land?
Yep. Have you ever seen sand under a microscope?
No.
Oh, it's spectacular. Google it. It's beautiful.
I'll have to check that out. Everybody listening, Google sand under a microscope.
Interesting.
Spectacular.
Okay, let's see. What do I want to ask now? If you are a mega monster, what city would you go rampaging through? It's okay to say LA. LA.
Which one is Mar-a-Lago in?
Jeez, don't expect me to be smart.
We're triers,
whichever one
not
that
smart
is.
people.
Keith's smart.
Yeah.
Oh,
Keith, do you know?
Whatever city that is.
Super producer, you don't know? Okay.
That was probably a very unpopular answer, but.
I don't know. We don't know where the hell that is. So.
Oh. Okay, good.
If you crash a car on purpose, is it still an accident?
You know, No. I think you're fully at fault.
Yeah.
What do you feel is the most useless thing that you know?
I know
A
so many.
skill you have that is completely useless, or knowledge you have that is useless.
Oh my God.
I stumped her.
You did. Knowledge or skill that's useless.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah, like
I'll give you an example here. I'll give you
right.
an example. My wife has monkey toes.
Okay. Oh.
Like she's got the second toe is longer than the big toe.
Same.
And so there's something on the ground. She doesn't bend over and pick it up. She just grabs it with her feet and
But
picks
I
it
would
up.
find that that's extremely useful. I wouldn't say that's useless at all. I think
Okay,
that's like
weird
an
then.
amazing.
That's just weird.
It's weird,
That's
but
an
it's not
amazing skill.
useless. That was a horrible one.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Maybe I could
was
pick
horrible.
up any like line dance pretty quick.
Ooh, she's a talented line dancer.
Yeah, I could do like some salsa, some line
Country
dancing,
music,
some country.
something you are into?
I love music, so I'm into country. I'm into whatever. Yeah. Actually, when we went to the expo a couple of years ago in Dallas, I went out line dancing by myself.
By yourself?
I did because I like didn't know anybody that well, so I just like wanted to go.
You have
get
an
a steak.
entire hobby worth of people that would have followed you there.
I know. Really? Okay. Well, next time.
You have just for absolute. Hey, you want to go line dancing tonight?
I tried to take you to a country bar the other day. You didn't like it.
took
well,
you to
I
the
just-
beach. Took you to a country bar.
I took him out.
Because I feel like in California, a country bar is faking it.
That's
In
what makes it fun.
Nebraska, a country bar is just a bar.
Yeah, so it's not a country
That's
bar.
just
it's
a bar. It's not a themed bar. That's just the bar.
Oh, I took you to the gas lamp with all kinds of themed bars.
Yeah, but that's themed
You
bars.
guys staying in San Diego? It sounds
Yes.
like. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so nice down there. I love it.
See, like
I gotta
he-
get to
he
Nebraska
took
though.
me to
I've
these-
never been.
He took me to this like
'Cause there's no
hillbilly
reason
themed
to
bar,
go.
and it
I
had
like
like
horses.
picnic
It's
tables
the
and all
trailer
this other
park
stuff.
after dark.
Okay, so this trailer park bar, right, had picnic tables and things like that. And it's
Oh, I
this
think
whole,
I've been there.
It's
and
pretty
it's
awesome.
That's awesome.
It's this whole themed, right?
You're like, this isn't fancy
In
enough.
Nebraska,
Yeah.
that's just the bar.
It's not themed.
Yeah, it's not
There's
themed.
not
It's
a bar in
just the normal
Nebraska
bar.
that has a trailer in it.
My friend Alicia
Oh, I could just. What if there's a bar in a trailer?
I wouldn't doubt
Sounds
that.
real tight.
Because that exists.
went to. My friend just went to she's from South Carolina, showed us this video of this brewery that was in an old factory. We're like, whoa, that's so cool. But I guess that's just where they
Normal.
have bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell that because I refer to it as the bar.
They're all just
It's-
the bar.
Well,
Yeah,
it's like the 5, which they had the hardest time with.
You guys and your languages. Go on.
All right. If a bunch of cats jump on top of each other, is it still called a dog pile?
Oh no. It sounds like cuddly goodness. I want to be under it. They have a cat bar. Actually, you should come to the cat bar in LA.
I don't know.
If you like cats. LA.
You don't know what we're talking about with that, do you?
You know, they watch a lot of Letterkenny.
There's a great TV show called Letterkenny.
It's Canadian people.
and
And they
making
made-
fun of LA.
They
well,
make fun of
one
LA.
episode they made fun of LA, and
Yeah.
they called it LA.
LA.
Every stereotype is true.
Is it?
There's green
Ooh.
juices on every corner.
Burn.
Everyone
What?
tells
I'm
you
not
how
from
they
LA.
got somewhere.
You're still from California,
It
which I'm going to throw it
I'm
I'm
in
gonna throw it
Northern
all
California.
together.
Yeah, it's
In
so
most
far.
states,
It's
it
so
would be
far.
a different 3 states
State-
away.
Yeah. It's
See, he's
so
got
far.
He's got a tractor, and so he thinks he's. Yeah, I shouldn't say that. He's extremely country and very wonderful for a Californian. If he was a typical Californian, I don't think we'd.
Yeah,
Your
I
best
love
friends.
plastic straws.
Of course you do. More so than other straws.
Yes.
If there's any authorities out there right now, I want to make note that JR excessively uses plastic
We're within
straws.
100 miles of the ocean. I think it's like
Contact me. I can get you his address.
I smuggled them into Disneyland.
I can get you his address too.
Because you've been there recording a TV show?
Yeah.
Not me.
Okay. How about pineapple on pizza? Pineapple on pizza. Is it okay? Feelings.
I don't mind it as long as there's ham on it. My husband, who's from Italy, when we order pizza, he literally tells them no pineapple. I'm like, they weren't going to put pineapple on it. Now you're just confusing them, and you're probably going to end up with pineapple on your pizza. He thinks it's an absolute disgrace. So if you ask him, like, it might as well be the devil.
So, but
I think it's fine.
Has he ever tried pineapple and pepperoni?
I don't know.
It's the most delicious
No, I
thing
don't
ever.
think he's ever even
so
tried
good.
it.
It's so good. You should
The
try pineapple.
saltiness of pepperoni. No, do it when he's not around. All right.
We don't want you to get in trouble.
The saltiness of pepperoni with the
like ham or
sweetness,
pepperoni. It
it's
is really. I
this
don't mind
wonderful blend.
it. It's just a little warm pineapple is a little weird.
Yes, that is
It's
the
a little
downside to
weird.
it.
But
But if you wait and eat it for breakfast, it's not bad at all. Cold out of the fridge.
I'm from Jersey, so I don't eat pizza in LA. That's another whole topic.
There is a lot of pizza places I've noticed. I never noticed how many pizza places are in Southern California until I take people out from that have never been here, and they're like, "There's another pizza place. There's another pizza place. You guys must really like your pizza." I was like, "I guess so. I didn't realize
Or
that."
nobody- Nobody's
it's just
doing
that
it right.
there's like 1.5 billion people that live here.
Yeah.
True. Nebraska's like San Diego.
We have more land than people, and it's great.
Yeah, we have more people than land.
What does
Kinda.
that fresh air feel like?
Oh, it's so wonderful. Just my lungs just function right
What's that
How do you know when they don't function right, though?
when I come to California.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, this is what it feels like to go. Oh, actually, that's what the mountains are like, and it's.
All right. Enough bashing California. Fool. It's time to go. All right. So. Thank you, Kristen, for being
Thank
on
you
our
guys so
podcast.
much.
This
Thank
was
you
actually
so
a
much.
ton of fun.
This
a
really
good
was.
time.
Yeah.
This is a good time. This might be my favorite episode of all time. Definitely better than David Peace's episodes.
Oh yeah,
Episodes
for sure.
says-
Episodes. He's like our
So
most famous, or most commonly person. I don't even know how to say this right. He's been on almost every single podcast show we make.
Constantly.
He's the regular of the Professional Triers and the Blinky Flashy. Has he been on the X-Light show?
The Rundown super producer?
Oh yeah, he did because I couldn't do it. He was your co-host.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's been on every single show we make. Oh, I guess we're gonna have to have him on the new game show. Did I say that out loud?
You guys are
Hey,
doing a
can
game
I
show?
compete against him?
Let me know if you need a contestant producer.
Ooh. Can you and AJ be on the game show? Maybe.
Oh, how much fun
Zoom?
would that be? Kristen versus
Testing-
AJ.
Testing
we
your
could be
Christmas.
contestants?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Testing your
Oh.
Christmas
Competing
light
against
knowledge.
each other.
Christmas knowledge?
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
all about
God.
Christmas lights. Seeing how much you
Boom.
guys actually know
She
about
calls
our
me
display.
Rain Man,
Look at
so
that
I might
smile
win,
on
but
Super Producer
This could be
Face right now.
awesome.
that
He's
would be
so happy.
amazing. So when are you coming back?
Well, we'll
Or is
probably
this
have
a
to do
phone
it.
call?
We'll do it over Zoom.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
how
my
we
gosh, I would
normally do
love
these.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
we
he's in
stay in-
Nebraska. I'm in California,
True.
and we do it over Zoom.
Yeah, we do these
Yeah.
like weekly.
Yep.
Oh, that
Airs
would
every
be
Monday.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Professional triers.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Lightfightcasting.com if anybody's interested after this
Oh yeah.
in-depth
Lightfight
conversation.
Give it a try. Like
casting.com.
the worst thing that's gonna happen is they're gonna be like, try again next year. Maybe do a little bit different. Don't have so much black in your display. I don't know who got told.
Well, there's that time that Kristen, teased me and made fun of me and then beat me up over how dare I. None of that happened. She is the most wonderful person
Never.
ever.
I'd
Yes.
never do it.
Look,
And yeah, the absolute worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to give you advice on, okay, you didn't make the show, but here's some of the things we liked. Here's maybe some of the things we didn't like. I mean, nothing is going to come about that's bad.
And you know what else is so much fun? We actually just had a family who interviewed, and we had to turn them down. But that interview was amazing. Just the fact that they all got into one room. They got to talk about their grandpa. He had just passed away. Like, they all shed a tear at one point. Like, just them being together, they said, was beyond, they all got to just talk about what the display
probably
meant
made
to
them feel better about their situation too.
Yeah, like just to share. So it was really cool. It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
So
I think
even that.
me and Vinny both agree. Give it a try. I don't care what your guys' thinking is about it. It's not horrible. And no, maybe Pixel shows if they're too cookie cutter or have a ton of the same props, you might not get picked this year because there's another one that maybe had something unique. But use your imagination. Think out of the box. Try something new, and it'll probably get you on the show. You know, everybody's got their own unique thing they do. Showcase that. Showcase the thing that makes you different than everybody else in the think tank, the X Likes group, or the LOR page if that's what you're into. But show what's different, and I think that will help you hugely. And film everything as much as you can, different angles. Tell them, explain stuff. Don't be vague and not explain what you're doing, or the fact that you could roll up your fence, because then maybe you would never be on the show.
And the more you're involved in the community, I think is going to help you if you, just to take me, for example, I've got like 10 ideas of things that would be absolutely awesome.
Just
10? I'm so involved that I see one thing somebody makes and I'm like, oh, I could do this or I could do that or something. And but I couldn't put it in my display for one reason or another. And people that are involved, you're going to end up hearing these ideas.
Well,
and,
it's probably hard to get supplies to Nebraska.
Well, I mean, horses and buggies worked fine. I don't understand.
Is that how
You load it on the wagon and you get it there.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's and maybe back to the pixel thing. Just because your house has a certain shape doesn't mean that's what your display has to look like.
No.
So it's like
you could. I know a guy that built a pirate ship on his house. I don't know. Who did that?
Weirdo.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
It's like, have fun with it. Add some whimsical stuff. You know, if you love snowflakes, make your house into a snowflake. If you love puppies or your daughter loves princesses, make a castle. I don't know. Do whatever inspires you, and obviously that you have the means to do. But yeah, go for it.
So we've reached our limit of time, because I think
this was fun.
Johnny's going to start kicking us out of the conference room at Monster. But thank you guys for listening.
Thanks,
thank you
guys.
again for being on this. This is awesome. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Ho, ho, ho. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to get on the nice list. Make sure you join the Holiday Lighting Think Tank on Facebook. Ho, 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 ho.